Hey everybody, I am Joy Ross. I'm sitting here with my international best-selling book right behind me. Um, as a first-time author for that book, How to Break the Cycle of Temptation, Addiction, and Guilt from the Inside Out, Chantel was instrumental in helping to guide me through the process as a first-time author and to be able to say now that my first book was an international bestseller. Actually, I am a few weeks away from being able to say that my second soon to be released book will hopefully also be on the international bestsellers list. Here is why I am here on camera and with these headphones and all set up like this. Not only did Chantel help me to get my first book on the international bestsellers list after I had been working with another publishing company that I had found online as a first-time author. I didn't know anything about the business. So I did what probably some of you either are in the process of doing or have done. I went online and I researched and Googled and looked for publishing companies and checked out people's reviews, all of that. I had selected another company, paid them a somewhat considerable amount of money to help me get my book published. And long story short, as it turned out, what they promised me before I signed the contract was not, in fact, what they were delivering midway through the process. So I made an executive decision to graciously release them from that contract and feeling sort of like, oh no, now what am I going to do? Thankfully, my executive coach, the lovely Lisa Nichols, told me about Chantel, and I reached out to Chantel and the rest was history. So she saved me. We turned things around, and I am so thrilled that it didn't work out with that first publisher, because it was a great experience with Chantel, and that other company probably would not have been able to help me get an international bestseller. So I highly recommend them. And I've had a positive experience, and I am actually going to have them help me get my second book on the bestsellers list and get it marketed and promoted as well. So if you're on the fence and deciding whether you want to work with Chantel and Wale, I say from my experience working with Chantel, I definitely would recommend her. And especially if you're a new author, they have such great materials to sort of walk you through the process. So I highly recommend. I hope that this is helpful. The other thing that I will add is, as a result of my first book being an international bestseller, I was contacted by one of the major networks. And so I am going to be later this month starting my own live syndicated radio talk show and podcasts that all came about as a result of the publicity that my first book got. So I wasn't even planning. I had no idea when I was working on that first book that it was going to open more doors. So you never know what's going to happen. So it's really important to get locked in with a good, reputable group to help you with your book, because it really does matter how it's promoted. And I recommend Chantel and the Bestsellers Academy, because so many doors have been opened for me beyond just getting my book on the bestsellers list. So I hope this has been helpful, and I wish you all the best in your journey to have your book published.